everybody. Welcome to Project 5 of the 12 Projects of Christmas. Today, we will be using the Snow Wonder and Snow Time dies. These are in the July to December mini or Christmas catalog. You will find them on page 21. I did not have time to check to see if the Snow Time dies are on sale. And I forgot to grab my iPad, so I can check for you. Maybe somebody can check and let me know. All right, so wait just a minute or two. Hi, Laura. And see who jumps in here. When you get in, say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if this is your first time watching. Hello, Lynette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the Stampin' Blends that we'll be using tonight, just so you can take a look at those. And wait and see who all jumps on. Now, if I seem a little spazzy today, I just got rid of a whole bunch of children. Well, you'd say children. I had 2 littles and 4 teenagers until right at a little after 7. So it's been kind of a crazy day today. We were tree decorating and it's been a day. It was fun and the tree is decorated, but it has been a little bit crazy. So I did not get to the studio until about 10 minutes ago. So I have my project designed. We're going to be doing a lot of it on camera simply because I did not have time to do a bunch of prep work for you. So anyway, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I've got the Snow Wonder on page 21. And these are the Stampin' Blends that we'll be using. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free to do so. Those are our Stampin' Blends. I'm going to set these aside until I need them. All right. We're also going to be using our blending brushes today. I've got 2. And then we're going to be using Misty Moonlight, Balmy Blue, Pool Party, and the Memento Tuxedo Black. Oh, that's right. We also have some embossing to do too. So, thank goodness I have that right behind me ready to go and I don't have to try and dig those supplies out. Yay me! All right. So the supplies that you're going to need for this card, you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white that are cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Actually, you'll need 3 if you're making this project because you need 1 to make a stencil out of. And you'll take a piece of the 3 3/4 by 5. And you would cut your stencil, and this is the 3rd largest from the layering diorama dies. Okay, so you would cut that out of the center. and you would get this. Okay? So then you'll need another piece, because you're going to use this as a mask on this 3 3/4 inch by 5. And I'm going to use mine this direction. And then you'll also need a piece for the inside. Okay? So we've got those. My card base tonight is Misty Moonlight, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of the Peaceful Cabin Designer Series paper. Oh, Peaceful Place. It's not Peaceful Cabin. It goes with the Peaceful Cabin bundle, and these are the patterns that come in that package of Designer Series paper. It's 12 by 12. You get 6 double-sided designs, and on each side of one of them, on 6 sides, you'll find silver foiling. Okay? All right, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. And you'll need a scrap of Misty Moonlight for the sentiment. And we're going to be using the metallic pearls. Okay? So those are our pieces. I'm going to go ahead and put these away so I don't lose them. And we're going to start with our stencil. Let me grab a piece of grid paper real quick. Crazy that I can't find the grid paper I want. All right. So there we go. Got that. I'm going to go ahead and tack this down. I'm going to use some removable adhesive, and I'm just going to, you could use, if you don't have removable adhesive, you can just take a piece of your Stampin' seal, put it down on the back of your card, and then tack it or rub it on your pants to take off some of the sticky. But I have removable, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to do the same with my stencil. And I'm just going to line those up. And stick that down. Okay. Hello, Mary. Glad you could join us. So I'm going to start with the Pool Party ink. And I want this to be really light. So I'm going to put this on and rub it off. And I'm going to very, very gently rub this. Remember, you can always put more ink on, but once it's on, you certainly cannot take it off. Like I said, I want this to be pretty light. So that looks good. And I'm going to move to my Balmy Blue. And I'm going to use the same brush. Let's see. I need to move this down so you can see a little better. Let's do that. All right, so we're going to wipe off on the grid paper. Then I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to very lightly go over that because I don't want it to be very dark. So I'm not really putting any pressure on my blending brush. Okay, then I'm going going to close that up, and I'm going to switch brushes. And then I'm going to get my Misty Moonlight. And this is a dark color, so you really want to be careful with this. All right. Oh, you guys, I did this wrong. Okay, well, this will work for the inside of our card. Huh. Yeah, this will work for the inside of our card because that's what I was going to do for the inside of my card. Anyway. All right, so I've got that. That's going to be my inside piece. Now I'm going to be smarter on this one. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to get my Memento Tuxedo Black. Excuse my reach there. And I'm going to take the Snowman from Snow Wonder. And why I didn't put him on a block in the 10 minutes that I had, I don't know. So I'll just show you how I usually do mine. I usually lay mine down, try to get it as straight as I can on my grid paper. And then put my block down. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that stencil again. And I'm going to line this up on my paper just like that. I'm going to ink up my snowman. And then I'm going to stamp him down inside this stencil. I'm going to give that a little bit to set for just a second. Happy with that. Okay, we'll set our snowman aside. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and take this off, set it aside, and I'm going to color my snowman. Okay, so I'm going to bring over those blends. Hopefully they'll just slide. There they go. Yay! Okay, they just slid right in there. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to start with the dark smoky slate and the light basic black. Okay, and I'm going to take my light basic black and I'm going to go to the hat and I'm going to go where there should be shadows. I'm going to go here, a little bit here. Then I'm going to go back with my dark smoky slate. And I'm going to finish filling that in. And blend those colors. Okay. And there is my hat. Next, I'm going to take my light soft suede and I'm going to carefully and very gently, barely touching the paper, color the arms of the snowman here in the soft suede. And the lighter touch you use, the less bleeding you'll get. All right. So next we're going to take the dark balmy blue and the light misty moonlight, and we're going to color a scarf. And I'm just going to color the whole scarf with the light balmy blue. Okay. And then I'm going to go back with the light misty moonlight. And I'm going to put a couple of little squiggly lines across here And then I'm looking at the lines that are kind of in the scarf, and I'm just going to give those some little scribbles, and then I'm going to go back with my light balmy blue, and I'm going to blend that in. Okay. Then I'm going to go back with my light misty moonlight, and I'm going to trace along the little tassels on his scarf. Okay, so there's his scarf. I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to color in the carrot nose. I'm going to take the light smoky slate. I'm going to color in the buttons. And the mouth and eyes. And oh, I think I forgot to grab the light pool party. I'm going to take the light pool party, and I'm going to go along the artist lines in this on the snowballs here, and very, very lightly add in some pool party in the direction that the artist put the lines. Just going to go over those. And then I'm going to put some down here in the snow. Okay. And then I'm going to go back with my color lifter. Oh, let me get his face. Got that up there. Get along there. Okay, there we go. Take my color lifter. And again, I'm going to go back with the color lifter and go right over that pool party that I just put down in the same direction that I put it down with the artist lines. And you'll notice I turned my paper to make it easier for me to get at. Okay. We'll go back up here. And down here in our snow, just to lighten that up a bit. All right, so now all we have left to color is the holly and berries. So we're going to use the light shaded spruce for the holly. And then I'm going to take my light shaded, or my dark shaded spruce, and I'm just going to go along the seam or the vein of the leaf. Go with my light cherry cobbler, draw in my berries, and then I'm just going to give them a tiny touch of the dark. All right, and our snowman is completely colored. Okay, he's pretty quick and easy. Now, no snowman would be complete in my book if he didn't have some Wink Stella. So I'm going to put some Wink Stella in the berries. I'm going to go along those misty moonlight lines that I put in his scarf to make them look like they're shiny threads. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on the snowman. Again, I'm following those artist lines for a little bit of sparkle. All right. And now my snowman is complete. I'm going to give him a little bit of sparkle in his eyes. Okay. So there he is. Cute, huh? Now, we're going to take this, and again, I'm going to give it a little bit of temporary adhesive. I'm going to get my stencil. Wait a minute, before I put the stencil on. I have pre-cut out a piece of masking paper that I stamped my snowman on. And I'm going to peel that off. I'm going to place that over my snowman. Hopefully you can see that. Just like so. Try to get those hands right there over the top. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to get those skinny pieces down. All right. So now I've got him masked off. And then I'm going to add my stencil. My layering diorama stencil. And I'm going to go back with the pool party. But now remember, I used balmy blue on this brush, and I'm going to reuse this brush. So all I'm going to do is rub that on my paper. Then I'm going to take a rag, and I'm going to rub it on my rag just to get that balmy blue off of there. Okay, because I don't want that to distort my pool party. Then I'm going to put some ink on my brush. I'm going to rub that off, and again, I'm going to go back on the bottom. And I'm ever so gently putting that down. I'm going to take a peek. I want to go just a little bit darker. All right. Pool party's good. We'll go with that balmy blue. And I'm going to go through the center. And I'm going to be really careful here because I don't want to lift up my snowman stencil arms. So it's just a very, very gentle. Okay, a little bit more color, not much, through there. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to go with my Misty Moonlight again. Okay. Then we can go ahead, lift that up, and lift our stencil off. And this is what we have. Oh, so let's take our mask off and lift that up. And this is what we have. To go ahead and put my stencil back so it doesn't get lost for another time. And I'm just keep my stencil in a little clear medium envelope in my stamp case so that I can use it the next time. And I'll probably do the same with this. Okay, so we're not going to stop here with this. We're going to take another layering diorama die. This time we're going to take the second largest. And we're going to nest this right along there. And we're going to run that through our die cut machine and cut that out. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of Post-it tape to hold that where I want it. Okay. Then we'll bring in the die cut machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and you will need the big one for this. Okay, and we've got plates 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to put my piece on there, put a second plate 3, and I'm going to roll that through my die cut machine. Okay, I'll put those away later. Okay, and that is all of our die cutting for this card. All right, now the rest of this is pretty simple. We're going to take our card base. I'm going to fold that in half and burnish that score line. Add our designer series paper. And I'm using the gray snowflake paper because I thought that was pretty fitting. Oh, and here, we talked about this last night, how this has just a little bit tiny more lips, so I'm going to use this side for my front. That way, when the recipient gets it, they're not going to be looking for at the back to see if that's all even. Okay, so it'll be fine. All right. Now I can go ahead and add this to my card, and I'm going to do that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And if you know me, you know I like to use lots just because I want them to stick and not cave in the mail. I think it helps with the postage too if you keep it the same height. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this. Right here, and we're going to take some pearls, some metallic pearls. We're going to use the silver ones. And I'm going to put these right over the top of his buttons. So we'll use 5 of them. Okay, we're almost done here. Next we have the sentiment we need to take care of. So I've got this scrap piece of Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to get the stamp set. Where? Oh, wait a minute. I got some sticky on my... Oh, I didn't. Katie used the hot glue gun to fix an ornament today on my pad. Okay, so we need Snow Buddy Better. Right? Yep, and I want the snowflake hugs from here. This is a good little stamp set. It goes along with all of your snowman and snowflake stamp sets with all these sentiments. You've got Your Snow Cool, Warm Winter Wishes, We Would Melt Without You, Snowflake Hugs, Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, Stay Cool, and Snowbody Better Than You, in addition to the images. So that's a nice little set, especially if you like snowmen. So I'm going to take the Snowflake Hugs, and we're going to bring in our embossing, our white embossing powder. And I'm going to use my embossing buddy. If you don't have an embossing buddy, you can always use a dryer sheet to help stop the static on your project. And get that open. And we're going to use our craft white ink pad. And I'm going to ink that up. And then I'm going to stamp it down in the middle of my scrap. I'll hold it there for the ink to take hold nicely. I'm going to set this aside so I don't get that white ink everywhere. And then I'm going to add some white embossing powder to that. Oh, well, I guess we're going to add a lot of... Oh, it just kind of flew out of there. I'll give that a little flick. Put this on. Set this aside. And then we will take our heat tool, and I'm going to heat it up underneath the desk so it's not so loud for you. I like to heat it up for a good 30 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to take that to my paper and melt that powder. Okay, and there we are. Okay. Now from the Snow Wonder dies, the Snow Time dies, I'm going to use this. This stamp set cuts out the trees, the wreath, and the snowmen from the Snow Wonder set. And then it has these cool little pieces that they don't cut out. They emboss snowflakes into your cardstock, and you can put them in your corners. So those are really cool. And then it has these two really nice labels. So we're going to use the smaller label, but this label is bigger than what we need. So I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that and make it the size we want it. So we're going to take our mini cut and emboss, and I'm going to get my tape which I'm not sure where I put it. So well, let's get another piece. Post-it tape. And I'm gonna move this out of the way so I can really get over it and see what I want to do here. And I'm gonna put this in here like this. And layer that up, and then I'm just gonna set this on here. Okay. I'm gonna bring in my cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to put this plate, I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm just going to put it down this far. I can still see my E from my sentiment. And I'm going to run that through. And it's only going to cut up to this point. Okay? Then I'm going to remove that tape, and I am going to slide this down, and you can feel the groove that you cut. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it'll fit right in that groove. And line right up. Okay, so you just want to line that into the groove. Okay, why? Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and my die is a little bit curved, you can see. So I'm going to take and I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to gently with my fingers in the middle so I don't bend it too far. I'm going to straighten that back out. Okay, now it'll slide right into that groove. And then I'm going to tape this down. Bring back in my machine. And again, I've already cut down here, so I don't need to cut again. I'm just going to go part way with my top plate. Whatever is not covered by the top plate will not cut. And then I'm going to run that through. And then when I remove this, I now have a perfectly sized die cut in the shape of this one. Okay, so that's kind of a cool little trick to get you. You could do that with all your dies, get you more mileage. If you find that they're the right width, or then you can just change the length. Okay, get that out of the way. And now we can take this and add this to our card, and we're just going to put that right down here, right underneath the bottom pearl. And I'm just going to put that on flat. Snug that right up there. Okay, then we have the inside of our card. And we're going to take some of the, what did I do with my stamp set again? I'm going to take the snowflake images. And I'm going to take some of the Misty Moonlight ink. I need my scrap paper. Okay, and we also need the sentiment. I'm going to use Sending You Blessings. Okay. Let me grab a block for that. I'm just going to put this on my grid paper like so. Line that up. Put that down. And then I will take this, ink it up. I'm going to test it out. Bring back in my sentiment here. And then I'm going to just stamp that down like so. Rub off my temporary adhesive. I'm going to take those snowflakes now. I'm going to stamp off. It's twice. All right, and there is the inside of our card. Okay, so now we can just take some Stampin' Seal, and my thing just run out, so if you don't know how to refill Stampin' Seal, they come in these bags, which for some reason are Ziploc. I don't quite understand that, but I'm just going to pop that out of the bag. Pop this open. And you see how I have this sticky glue here? I'm going to pull my empty refill out, toss that away, and then I'm just going to take my fingers and pull off that sticky edge. It pulls off easily, and then I can set, there's 3 holes on the back side of this. They just go on these little pins right here. Pop that on, pop in my refill, and now I'm ready to go. Run that up just a tad, put that on, and now we have the inside of our card finished. Still seeing a little tiny bit of that temporary adhesive. And I just put more on from my fingers. Silly. All right, so there we have it. There is our project for this evening. Now, to finish this off with an envelope, I took the wreath image from this set, and I stamped it in Memento and colored it with the shaded spruce light and dark, and the real red light and dark on the bow, and then of course I added Wink of Stella. So there you have it. Hope everybody loved that project tonight. I will be back tomorrow night at 7:45 for another 12 projects of Christmas. I hope to see you then. Until next time, have a good night. Catch you later, everybody. Thanks for joining.